Now joining us, the only former Notre Dame student athlete in history to win an Olympic gold medal in an individual event. And get this, she's the first American to ever win an Olympic gold medal in her sport. She led the Irish to a national championship, and she won her own national title wearing the gold and blue. Mariel Zagunis, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This
Mariel,
is great.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled to have you on here. Let's go back to your days of growing up in Oregon first. Where exactly in Oregon are you from? And tell us a little bit about your family and whether they're athletes or not, too.
I am born and raised in Beaverton, Oregon. Right here, as you can see, it's beautiful. So can't blame me for coming back here. And that's where my home base has been the past couple of years as I've been continuing to train in fencing. And yeah, my parents are from all over the place, but they chose to have this be our home base. And, I get my determination and my drive and my Olympic blood from them because they were actually Olympic rowers. So, my journey started here. It obviously has a lot to do with their dedication to me as their daughter and teaching me how to, just dream big and go after big goals.
2 Olympic rowers, and you became an Olympic fencer. So I got to ask you, naturally, how did that happen?
I know with fencing, it's such a random sport, but I did try the erg. We had an erg in my house growing up, the rowing machine. And as like a 6-7-year-old, that is not a very good idea of fun. So I shied away from rowing pretty early on. But my parents, obviously being Olympians themselves, were pretty active and had us in all sorts of sports. And we kind of just fell into fencing, finding a local club because my older brother wanted a sword fight. And I guess you could say the rest is history.
Well, we've done some homework here, Mariel, on your career. You started winning world titles during your high school years at Valley Catholic High School, and I'm quite sure you were the most qualified and recruited athlete in fencing history. So what led you to choose the University of Notre Dame?
Yeah, well, I also have to say shout out to, all the fencers who have come after me, especially the talented ones who have attended University of Notre Dame. Maybe at the time I was one of the most recruited and I can be up there, but fencing since I was in high school has really improved nationwide. We have so many incredible fencers, medal contenders, Olympians now coming from the U.S. So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, growing up and going to Catholic school my whole life and really just appreciating that super strong and supportive community has always been something that's really important to me to be involved with and continue to be involved with. So when it came time to, think about my NCAA career, I knew I wanted to obviously go to a school that had a strong fencing program, but also keep that small Catholic community. And obviously Notre Dame fit the bill. They had a very, very strong program, continue to have a strong program. They won NCAAs this year. So, it's just something that I knew I wanted to be a part of that program because it already was very well established before I decided to go there, before I was eligible. So I just knew that, I just wanted to keep the good vibes, keep the small community, keep the Catholic faith and just have a strong fencing program to go along with that. And so Notre Dame clearly fit the bill with all of those things. Absolutely.
You've got quite the great story, and something pretty special happened prior to your arrival on campus at Notre Dame freshman year. The women's Sabre event was being contested for the first time in the 2004 Olympics, and you just missed out qualifying for those games. So tell us what happened next.
Right. So I actually graduated high school in 2003. So I had already gotten into Notre Dame, knew I was going to fence there on scholarship, but had a discussion with them being like, Olympics is once every 4 years. This is really important to me, something I've always dreamed of, and made the decision to defer my admission. So I committed an entire year plus to that goal of making the Olympic team, bringing home a gold medal. And I actually fell short of qualifying for the team in March of 2004. So it was quite the roller coaster of emotions. I was the highest ranked fencer in the world not to be going to the Olympic Games. Was very devastated at the time, as you can imagine, but just had to learn the lesson that everything happens for a reason, and also to continue to pursue your goals, even if they're not showing up in the way that you think they are. And so I continued to train, even though I fell short of making the team. And it was good for me because one fencer that had qualified ended up dropping out. And so that guaranteed me a spot on the team. So I showed up in Athens and won a gold medal. So I was, instead of sitting at home that summer and headed off to Notre Dame on time, I actually arrived at campus over 2 weeks late because I was competing in the Olympics. So it was a different story than a lot of people have when they first arrive on their freshman year of campus. But, it was obviously something that I would never change.
Surreal and perseverance, 100%. The first gold medal in 100 years for an American fencer and the first ever in women's sabre. Then you do it again in 2008, winning another gold medal. Then in 2012, one of the highest honors of an Olympic athlete. You are selected to lead the entire U.S. Olympic team into the opening ceremonies. Now, for us non-athletic people, can you describe, Mariel, what that moment is like and what that moment was like when you walked into London Stadium leading the American team carrying our nation's flag?
I mean, yeah, even when I talk about it to this day, it's still so surreal because that position for the U.S. team is voted on by your fellow athletes. So every sport gets to nominate a name, and then you vote on who, you kind of tell the story of the person and what their accomplishments are. But Team USA is stacked and continues to be stacked with amazing athletes. So I never thought in a million years that I would have a chance to be selected into that position and kind of be the representative of the team in that aspect. But, the opening ceremony is like the biggest event, and that everybody watches. And so to lead Team USA, and that was a very, very high honor because our team is just filled with some incredible athletes, and everybody has an amazing story of how they made it to the Olympics.
No, I'm sitting here now and I'm getting chills watching that right now. And so we're here today and you're a mom. So I want to tell you congratulations. You're a 4-time Olympian. You have 2 Olympic gold medals, 2 Olympic bronze medals, and numerous world championships during your truly historic career. We got to ask you, what's next?
Well, what's next? Well, Tokyo 2021, here we come. We're in the countdown again. I qualified a year ago for my 5th Olympic team. So Tokyo, I'm going to be making, a little bit more history there. Of course, my first Olympics as a mom. And this is just all for her. It's all for my daughter to set an example that you can do anything you put your mind to, regardless of what other things in life come your way, what other goals you have. And, I'm being the best mom I can be and the best athlete I can be. And hopefully that will equate to more gold, more hardware coming out of Tokyo.
Mariel, we are so incredibly proud of you. You have no idea. And please know your entire Notre Dame family will be rooting hard for you this summer in Tokyo. Thanks for joining us on Notre Dame Day. Go USA and go Irish. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.